So I just got back from 4 different countries in the last 8 days. I got to use this quite a few times, so that was pretty neat. What I'm doing essentially is I'm traveling so that I could figure out where I want to retire. Many people don't consider retiring in other places, other countries, but that's something that I want you to consider and think about. Immediately, what might be running through your mind is, well, safety is a huge issue. So I don't know if I'd be safe in another country. Maybe medical services might not be satisfactory in that person or that place. Perhaps maybe the education level or availability of medical services might not be up to par in that foreign country. And then, of course, there's another concern, which is there's persons maybe just not simply comfortable knowing foreign policy and law in a foreign country. So quite a bit of concern right there off the bat, and every one of those concerns are legitimate and should be there, especially if you're planning to do something such as retire, live in a foreign place. So really there's a few different ways to resolve this. Learn your surroundings. You can use resources online for that particular country with the police department websites. Every one of them has their crime statistics posted and published on their websites, even in countries that are third world. Before moving to Gig Harbor here, I learned the crime statistics on Gig Harbor because I had never heard of it. I wanted to see what kind of place I was moving to. Granted, it's an incredibly safe place, especially where I was living prior. But there's definitely resources available for that. On safety, there was an article published within International Journal of Injury Control and Safety Promotion that was found on our TCC library site, and it's discussing foreign travel and risks of harm and endangerment in different areas. These can be resolved again by learning your surroundings, being aware of what's around you, asking locals, and learning statistics around you too. Additionally, when it comes to the medical services and healthcare, there was an article that I picked up additionally from our TCC library. It was published in the British Medical Journal, and the article was about the rate of quality for UK healthcare, and specifically that it is essentially, as part of it, is worse in many similar countries. There's a lot of different places that you might think would have extensive health care, but sometimes it may not be as available, it may not be up to par. There's many places that simply are available and up to par, and in these places you just have to know where to go. One of the places that I got to stamp out of my trusty passport here was Bahamas. They have 2 hospitals in the country. The country's very, very tiny, this big, 21 miles long, 8 miles wide. Their first hospital is a socialized hospital. That's where the general public goes to. And they have adequate care. It keeps people healthy enough. Another hospital they have there is a private healthcare hospital. There's a lot of the celebrities that live there or go to, people that have their private health insurance, and people that have more resources, of course. But again, there's this small country, decent-sized population, and there's different healthcare available in each of those places, so it's up to you as a person doing your research about where you want to go to see what is available to you as the retiree. Now the other concern is not knowing foreign policy, and this is very simple. Learn it. Go to the government website and learn. Embassies are available in every other country. Travel first. Go and visit that place first. So imagine one of the deciding factors for many people would be affordability, and that would be something that's very enticing compared to the United States. The United States is just growingly expensive, and it may take only about 15 years with $1 million to retire on in the course of your age 65 to being 80 years old. Your retirement's gone, done. If you live beyond 80, what are you going to do? There's a resource if you don't have access to a financial consultant online. money.usnews.com. They have a personal calculator on there, and you can just do some rough estimates and see what kind of money can get you lengthwise when it comes to how much you need to retire and how long your money will last you. So obviously it would be more recommended to sit down with a financial consultant and do a comprehensive financial plan to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. But in the US, if $1 million may last you 15 years, realistically, to have that dollar stretch and take into account inflation, I personally would need about $2.7 million to retire on the living standards that I have today. And that would take me into about 85 years old. If I was to retire, let's say in Jamaica, I need about $1 million. And that's also having a house on the beach. You can really make your dollar stretch a lot longer there. Healthcare there is fine. The country also kind of takes a holistic approach to medicine and are very concerned about what they're putting in their body, more so natural versus all the processed foods we have in the US that do have a lot of health concerns and causes. So pay attention to what kind of diet you have as well, and that will keep you out of the hospital a little bit more perhaps, but that's neither here nor there and a different subject. So another wonderful thing about retiring in another place is you learn a new culture, you immerse yourself in a new culture, and there can be wonderful things to be learned from that. Additionally, give your family and friends a new place to visit and teach them something about new culture and education, and really would help to create a better understanding to different types of people and make new friends, long-lasting friendships. So essentially these are my main reasons as to why you should retire out of the country, or at least to consider it. These concerns of safety and medical care, availability of medical care, foreign policy, all of those concerns are legitimate and should be concerned. And if you're not concerned about those, then maybe you want to consider that. But they're easily to be resolved. You arm yourself with the information that you need in order to maintain your own personal safety, just as you do domestically here in town. Learn healthcare, learn the rules, learn what's available to you and what you should be doing. And go and travel first. Go and visit somewhere. Take a few weeks there or so. See what you like and see what you can picture yourself in, and go back again and then check it out again. So ultimately, those are my reasons for why you should retire to the country. I'm Heather Davis, and I appreciate you listening. Thank you so much.